According to Sir Lawrence Gardner, Mary Magdalene was known in the Languedoc as the Mistress of the Waters. This title aligns her with the mother goddess Acca, Isis. As the Miriam, she was the head sister of the Order of Dan. Her order appears to be the continuation of the mysterious tribe of Daniel. Daniel, God is my judge, was not a personal name. It was a group of people. The question who or what then are the Daniel takes on paramount importance. Barbara Walker explains Daniel was a title used to distinguish a person of the goddess Dana or Dianna. Inanna, Celtic Tuatha De Danann is also children of the goddess Danu. In Irish history, the mystical Tuatha De Danann are described as heaven-sent gods. They are compared with the Sanskrit Deva, shining one, God, and adeva, devil, which became diva, devil, in Persian. The Old English divel, devil, can be traced to the Roman derivative divus, divi, gods. This confusion may explain why the writers of the Old Testament didn't particularly care for the Danites, whom they said would judge, balance, the people and were called serpents by Jacob, a title typically, and erroneously, reserved for Satan, whom the Egyptians called Sata, serpent. According to Celtic/Druid legend, on Beltane or May Day, in a fog, the Tuatha De Danann came through the air to Ireland to teach young men sacred wisdom. Their arrival was so profound it was said to have covered up the sun for 3 days, just like happens in the Book of Revelation. The Tuatha De Danann were generous too. They brought with them 4 treasures or power tools: the Stone of Destiny, the Sword of Destiny, the Cup of Destiny, the Staff or Spear of Destiny. They placed these treasures on a silver platter in the Cave of Treasures, inside the Mountain of God, where burns a perpetual flame. After conquering Ireland, the Tuatha De Danann were themselves conquered in a shootout with another tribe, the sons of Mil, the Gaels. At the armistice meeting with their conquerors, a poet named Amagin, or Amorgan, split the land into an upper and lower part, like Egypt, which was reunited by Thoth, the peacemaker. Amagin is someone to keep an eye on. In one of his famous poems, The Song of Amagin, he repeatedly identified himself as I am, the name of the Hebrew god Yahweh, the God of Daniel. The fact that the name of the God of these stories is identical certainly links them. Per this agreement, the people of Daniel were required to leave the surface of the earth and live in an underground kingdom accessed only through the Sid Mounds, pronounced she, or hollow hills of Ireland. In the Sid Mounds the Tuatha De Danann assumed invisibility, with the power to reappear in human form at will or ascend to higher planes or planets. This is one of the magic 8 powers or the Ashtasiddhis, of the Yogi Masters. The Buddhist title Siddhartha literally means rich in magic. This title was claimed by Siddhartha Gautama, the 7th in a line of reincarnated Buddhas. These 8 spiritual blessings are a mystery. Do they correspond with the 8 Beatitudes of Jesus? From their Sid Mounds the Tuatha De Danann, they continued to teach their forbidden mysteries. It was the special duty of the Druids, to act as intermediaries between the world of men and the invisible or underground world of the Tuatha De Danann. They are considered to be direct descendants or reincarnations of the early gods of Samaria, the Anu. She people are described as a race of majestic appearance and marvelous beauty, in form human, yet in nature divine. They are divided into 2 classes, those which are shining, and those which are opalescent and seem lit up by a light within themselves. The word Sid informs us of the nature of these forbidden teachings that Daniel had access to. Sid appears to be related to the Latin sedus and the Sanskrit siddha, both words meaning power. Some of these Sid Mounds or power vortexes, particularly those of Ross's Point country in Ireland, gained renown as possible locations for stargates or interdimensional gateways to and from the inner world home of the Tuatha De Danann. King Arthur of the Grail legend is considered to be one of these reincarnated Anu Sid heroes. After his death he was taken to live in the otherworld of sacred apple groves, Avalon, and was prophesied to reincarnate as a messiah. Siddhartha Gautama Buddha, a name which rings of Siddhartha, is the seventh in a line of reincarnated Buddhas who is prophesied to appear on earth at the end of the world as the avatar Maitreya. Tantric texts claim Maitreya Mitra will be able to walk on water, make himself invisible, create, and destroy matter, and transmute base metals into gold. After their banishment to the interior world, the Tuatha De Danann were transformed into devils by the Catholic Church. Their stature was considerably shrunk in size, too. This is evidenced by the term henceforth applied to them, fairy folk. The Tuatha De Danann were described as tall, blonde and fair-skinned. By adding a Y suffix to their name, a demonic or diminutive image was created. The Church is understandably reluctant to admit this, just as the Japanese are about discussing their ancestors the Inannas, the children of Dianna, who were fair, tall and blonde and came from the sky, left for the skies, and will return from the skies. Despite their apparent contempt, the ancients accepted the Daniel or Daniel, as wise people and prophets of immense importance. As judges they were the messiahs or balancers of heaven and earth.